Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another brand new video. I hope you guys are all doing well. So in today's video, of course, I want to give you guys an update on what is happening with Bitcoin today. And of course, not just Bitcoin, but of course, the entire cryptocurrency market. And of course, I want to, go through some price targets that Bitcoin could potentially hit, okay, in the next few months, okay, for this year in 2023, right? And of course, next year in 2024, and of course, the year 2025. We know the year 2025 is obviously going to be a great, amazing year for Bitcoin and crypto, right? We're going to see Bitcoin pump, we're going to see Ethereum pump, and of course, many other altcoins that's in the crypto market will pump as well. So be excited for that, okay, for all my crypto holders out there, right? So let's talk about Bitcoin. There is, in fact, a fair few things to talk about. So let's get straight into it. You guys can clearly see Bitcoin right now is currently at $30,000. So still hovering at this level of 30K. For the past 2 weeks now, over 2 weeks, you guys can clearly see Bitcoin has not been moving at all, but it's still holding up very well. Okay, this is obviously a very strong resistance line and a support level that we have in fact been seeing for Bitcoin for the past over 2 weeks now. Okay, so you guys can clearly see 30K is obviously a very strong support level for Bitcoin. At least Bitcoin is still holding up very well above 30K. So that's absolutely amazing to see. As of from this video, it's currently at 30,400. And you guys can clearly see today that the crypto market is not really moving as well. Just like yesterday, even the day before that, right? We didn't really see Bitcoin move, even other altcoins, right? The entire crypto market today is still sort of stagnant, not much movements at all. You guys can clearly see the global crypto market cap is currently at 1.18 trillion, and overall the market is slightly up 0.66%. So you guys can clearly see not much movements at all, but Solana, okay, is in fact continuing to pump. We have in fact been seeing Solana for the past few days. About 3 days ago, we actually saw Solana pumping, and ever since then, it's just been continuing to pump. You guys can clearly see today, right? It's up 7.5%. So that's absolutely amazing to see for Solana. Litecoin is also having a pump as well, which is absolutely amazing to see for Litecoin. Litecoin has in fact been pumping for the past few weeks as well, here and there. But yeah, it's looking pretty good for Litecoin. We know the Litecoin halving event is about to happen very soon. I believe next month, early next month. Okay, so in August. So if you guys have in fact invested into Litecoin, you should be very excited for that as well, right? Because I really do believe Litecoin, it will pump. And if you guys haven't seen, right, I did in fact make a fair few videos talking about Litecoin with the next halving event. If you guys haven't seen those videos, you should definitely check it out. Right, I should definitely check it out. I uploaded those about like 2 weeks ago, or like 3 weeks ago, a month ago. Right, so if you guys haven't seen that video, you should definitely check it out for sure. But let's get into the charts, right? Because I'm telling you guys this right now, where Bitcoin is heading, in the next bull market, it's going to be absolutely insane. You guys have no idea, right? Bitcoin's next price targets are absolutely crazy and just insane, right? In general. Okay, so I want to really talk about that in for today's video, right? So starting with this chart, you guys can clearly see, okay, Bitcoin always tends to reach a new all-time high every single time. Once we have the halving, okay, Bitcoin always tends to reach a new high, right? A new all-time high. So that's exactly what we're going to see for the year. Potentially, 2024, I really do believe, Bitcoin will easily reach back up to its previous highs, which was around 69K. And I really do believe it's going to, create and reach another new all-time high for Bitcoin around, towards the end of the year in 2024. And then, of course, 2025, that's when we're going to really see Bitcoin pump. What we saw in 2021 will happen in 2025. Right, so be excited for that, guys. But you guys can clearly see this chart just really does show you guys that Bitcoin always tends to reach a new all-time high. So for the people out there that say Bitcoin doesn't hold its value and whatnot, right? It doesn't have store of value and whatnot, right? Just think again, look at this chart, right? Over the years, you guys can clearly see Bitcoin always tends to reach a new high, a new all-time high. So just think about that, right? Even though, yes, Bitcoin has dropped over 70%, 77% from its previous highs to the bottom, right, which was around $15,000 last year in 2022. Around November, we saw Bitcoin at 15K. Even though, yes, it dropped massively, you guys can clearly see that, but it's the same cycle, right? Bitcoin is supposed to do this. We always enter different cycles, a bear market and a bull market, right? So just think about it, right? Bitcoin clearly is forming a new pattern up to the upside. So just think again. Now, yeah, short term, right? We are in fact seeing Bitcoin, moving on its side for quite some time. It is in fact consolidating very, very hard. So will we see Bitcoin break out from this resistance line of pretty much $31,000? And the next price target could potentially be $35,000, $38,000, even 40K and over 40K, right? I've been showing you guys a fair few charts that people out there are in fact predicting that Bitcoin will reach these price targets in the next upcoming, few weeks, maybe even the next few months. But I really do believe soon enough, okay, Bitcoin has to do something. It cannot consolidate forever at $30,000. That's what you guys have to understand, right? So Bitcoin has to move very, very soon. It cannot, move on its sideways forever. It just has to either, pump or have a breakdown, right? And I told you guys, if Bitcoin does in fact have a rejection, a little test back down to the downside, it's not going to have a massive, crash. Potentially it's going to drop to like $29,000, $28,000, maybe even $27,000 lowest. Then after that, it's just going to bounce back up to 30K, 31K. And then of course, it's going to bounce back up to 32K. And that will obviously create a new high for Bitcoin, right? So let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? Will we see a breakout? Will we see Bitcoin, consolidate even more in the next upcoming few days and weeks? Let me know in the comments below. Personally, I think soon enough it's going to have a breakout, right? Meaning I think it's going to pump up to the top. If it doesn't, then yes, it's possible Bitcoin will, drop back down, have a little retest back down to the downside. So that's very, very possible as well. Time will tell, we will see. But I think we're going to see a massive breakout for Bitcoin. Okay, so that's that, guys. Now, what happened in 2014, 2015 looks like it's going to happen for this year in 2023 and 2024, right? And this is called the PMO green signal. Now, I've never heard of this, right? I've heard of it a fair few times, okay, but barely. And you guys can clearly see that it seems like history is in fact repeating itself, just like what Bitcoin did in 2014 and 2015. It looks like it's going to happen for Bitcoin for this year and of course 2024. It looks like the PMO green signal is in fact forming once again. So it's looking pretty bullish for Bitcoin, right? It really, really is. Now moving on to this chart right here. Okay, here's another chart that I haven't showed you guys yet. This is a crossover. Okay, so Bitcoin is in fact having this crossover right now. You guys clearly see, and it seems like every single time we have this crossover, Bitcoin always tends to pump, right? Every single time. And what's happening right now? We're unboxing a little crossover right now for Bitcoin, meaning we're going to see Bitcoin shoot up, right? So you guys know I'm a big, believer of, history repeating itself, patterns sort of rhyming. It's like clockwork, right? What happens in the past will potentially happen in the future, okay? So we're unboxing another crossover, so meaning we could potentially see Bitcoin have another rally up to the upside. And then, if you guys have in fact been watching my videos, then I've been mentioning that many, many times as well. So that's that. It's looking pretty good, right? And here's another chart that I want to show you guys that Bitcoin is up, right? It's up, right, from its lows. Okay, you guys can clearly see from this falling wedge, Bitcoin dropped, like I said, 77% from its previous highs to its low, okay, which was 15K. And you guys can clearly see where it really hit bottom, okay? And now Bitcoin is clearly, forming a new pattern up to the upside. So for all the people out there that think we're gonna see Bitcoin drop back down to like, I don't know, $25,000, $20,000, or maybe even lower than 20K, right? Think again, because this is not the time for us to see Bitcoin drop that massive, right? So just think about it, okay? This is obviously not the time for that. Okay, we know the Bitcoin halving is obviously right around the corner. Okay, it's going to happen very, very soon, less than a year from now. So it's not the time for Bitcoin to drop that massive. Okay, very, very unlikely to happen. It's all ups from here, guys. Okay, it's all ups from here. You guys can clearly see that, right? So the future for Bitcoin is looking very, very bright for this year in 2023. We're going to see Bitcoin pump to 35, to 40, to 42, to 45, to 50. Okay, I've been mentioning this many times, towards the end of this year in 2023, I really do see a 50K Bitcoin or over 50K Bitcoin. That's just my personal opinion. And we could potentially see a 60K Bitcoin, towards, the end of this year in 2023. And if Bitcoin does, in fact, if we do, in fact, see Bitcoin at 60K, that's going to put it at its, almost at its previous highs. We know Bitcoin's previous all-time highs back in 2021 of like around November was in fact around 69K, almost 70K, right? So we're going to easily see Bitcoin reach back up to its previous highs and, of course, reach another new all-time high for the next bull market. So be excited for that, guys. Now, yes, okay, Bitcoin, okay, next price targets, $70,000, very, very possible, $170,000. I think that's very possible as well for the next bull market. Now, I've been mentioning this many times. Personally, my predictions for Bitcoin for the next bull market, right? I think its top is going to be around 200K to 250K, right? Now, people aren't in fact saying it's going to go way higher than that, okay? 280K, 300K, right? You name it. People are in fact saying it's going to go to 400K, right, per Bitcoin, which is absolutely insane. I don't think, like, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't think we're going to see Bitcoin reach 400K. That's just going to be absolutely insane. But obviously, if it does, that is just history right there, right? Because Bitcoin has never pumped that much in Bitcoin history, right? So you got to really, think about that. That's going to be a massive pump up to the upside. But we will see. These are all just obviously personal predictions. But I personally think at 200K to 250K, for the year, 2025, I think that's very, very possible for Bitcoin. So time will tell, we will see. But it's looking pretty good for Bitcoin, right? It really, really is. Now, here's another chart that I really want to show you guys. And this chart really just shows you guys that every single time we have a halving for Bitcoin, it pumps, okay? And it always reaches a new all-time high. You guys can clearly see back in 2011 to 2014, okay? You guys can clearly see how much Bitcoin has pumped. And then from 2015 to 2018, we can see how much Bitcoin has pumped from there as well. And then from obviously 2019 to 2021, we saw how much Bitcoin has pumped. And now, okay, where we are right now, currently at 2023 to 2025, we're gonna see the exact same thing, okay? So that's why I've been telling us as many times, this is the time to stack as much Bitcoin as you possibly can because it will pump, okay? These Bitcoin, price targets, right? The next price targets for Bitcoin are absolutely insane, guys. But I can tell you this much, right? We will in fact see a 100K Bitcoin. We will in fact see a 150K Bitcoin, 200K Bitcoin, maybe even a 250K Bitcoin in the next bull market, meaning 2025. So be excited for that. For all my Bitcoin holders out there, be excited because Bitcoin is in fact about to pump. Okay, we know the halving is obviously right around the corner. It's going to happen next year in 2024, around April or May. Okay, I'm not 100% sure, but it's going to be either one of those months. Okay, I think personally it's going to be more towards in April. So that's obviously less than a year from now. So just think about that, guys, right? The time right now for Bitcoin, okay, is now. Bitcoin will pump, and this is why, guys, since Bitcoin has not been moving, it's sort of boring, it's consolidating, it's moving, it's on its side, right, at 30K, this is obviously the perfect time to buy Bitcoin, right? It really, really is, guys, okay? So don't miss this opportunity. I've been telling us that many, many times throughout my previous videos, even in my streams, right? So that's that, guys, okay? That's that. I love this chart, right? It really just shows you guys that every single time we have the halving, it always tends to pump a new all-time high. So that's that. Now, the last chart that I want to show you guys, we know we are in fact in a pre-halving, okay? We're not obviously in a bull market just yet, okay? And this chart really does show you guys that, we are in fact in recovery mode. And that's exactly what I've been telling guys, right? So far, for the past 6 months for this year in 2023, we have in fact been seeing, Bitcoin slowly recover back up to, the upside, right? So we are in fact, in the pre-halving event, okay? So we are in fact in recovery mode. Okay, and Bitcoin's clearly doing an amazing job slowly recovering back up to its previous highs from its lows. So you guys clearly see it's obviously forming a new pattern up to the upside. And once we actually have the halving, that's when, the bull market will in fact happen, guys, right? Because you guys clearly see Bitcoin is nowhere near its previous highs. So I wouldn't say we are in fact 100% in the next bull market just yet, but I will say this is in fact, we are in fact in the early stages of the next bull market, 110%, right? So it's only a matter of time, guys, that we see Bitcoin pump. So be excited for that, guys. You guys can clearly see we only have a few months time of buying Bitcoin, below 50K. Okay, so don't miss this opportunity because Bitcoin will pump, guys, in the next few weeks, few months. We're going to see Bitcoin pump to 40K, to 50K, to 60K, to 70K, right? Back up to its previous size and, of course, reach on your all-time high. So that's why, guys, I really don't want you guys to miss this opportunity, right? There's so much money to be made. with Bitcoin and crypto, right, in general. So that's that, guys, right? That's that. But guys, that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I just really wanted to show you guys these different charts that Bitcoin could potentially be reaching for the next, bull market. And of course, not just that, right, for, this year in 2023, next year in 2024, and of course, the year after that, 2025. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below, what is your personal price predictions for these upcoming few years, towards the end of the year in 2023, 2024, 2025. Where do you guys see Bitcoin heading, right? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know. But on that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Give a thumbs up, subscribe. If you guys haven't already, let's get to 3,000 subscribers. I would really, really, really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Have a blessed day, guys.